Liverpool's summer business is showing no signs of slowing down as the transfer window edges towards its conclusion with every passing day, bringing fresh developments that underline both the scale of change under new head coach Arne Slot and the meticulous transfer strategy being overseen by sporting director Richard Hughes. And the clearest indication of that came with the arrival of Italian teenager Giovanni Leone from Parma, in a £26 million deal that was officially confirmed only hours before Liverpool opened their Premier League title defence with a 4-2 victory over Bournemouth at Anfield. The 18-year-old centre-back, now preparing to take part in full training with his new teammates at the AXA training centre this week, with Slot welcoming the timing as ideal given Liverpool do not play again until next Monday's away trip to Newcastle United, affording the youngster time to adapt to his new surroundings, meet the squad properly, and get a feel for both the facilities and the intensity of training before potentially being named in the matchday squad at St James Park. A game in which his inclusion, even on the bench, would mark a significant moment for a player whose rise in Serie A over the past year had made him one of the most highly regarded defensive prospects in Europe. Leone, who cut a composed figure when spotted in the director's area during the win over Bournemouth, later met Alisson Becker, with the height difference between the pair amusingly noted by Slot. But beyond the photographs, there is a serious sense that this is a player Liverpool intend to develop as a long-term fixture at the heart of their defence. And while technically eligible to represent the under-21s, the likelihood is that his immediate focus will be first-team training. Slot and his staff determined to integrate him quickly into the senior environment, especially as Liverpool's defensive structure continues to evolve, with Gomez returning from injury to feature at right-back against Bournemouth in a cameo. That reminded supporters of his importance as a versatile squad member, particularly in light of Connor Bradley's ongoing absence and Jeremy Frimpong being substituted after just an hour on his Premier League debut with a minor hamstring complaint, a reminder of how fragile depth can be in the opening weeks of a campaign. Yet Slot remains calm in his planning, pointing out that he now has 4 central defensive options in Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate, Gomez, and Leone. Though Liverpool's strong interest in Crystal Palace, captain Mark Guehi continues to be a live story as Hughes works to secure further reinforcements before the window closes. Guehi's seen as a ready-made addition capable of slotting straight into the Premier League champions, starting while also offering leadership qualities and top-flight experience, making him a prime target for a squad that is being reshaped with both the present and future in mind. Hughes' influence is being felt not only in arrivals, but in the outgoings too, with perhaps the most eye-catching deal so far being the £25 million sale of Ben Doak to Bournemouth, a player who had only made fleeting appearances for Liverpool's senior side, who commanded a remarkable fee, the kind of transaction that underlines Hughes' ruthlessness and efficiency, qualities that have sometimes been absent in previous Liverpool windows, where squad players were allowed to leave on cut-price deals or run-down contracts. And yet the work on exits is far from done, as Costa Tsimikas increasingly looks set to depart Anfield after 5 years of service, the Greek fullback having been omitted from the squad to face Bournemouth, in what sources close to the club insist was no coincidence. Fabrizio Romano reporting that Liverpool are prepared to sanction either a permanent or loan departure before deadline day, a reflection of the fact that Tsimikas has slipped down the pecking order following the summer arrival of Milos Kerkez from Bournemouth, with the Hungarian already installed as first-choice left-back and Andy Robertson remaining a key presence in the squad, leaving Tsimikas with no defined role and little prospect of regular minutes. A situation that has inevitably led to speculation about his future and which Liverpool are keen to resolve swiftly to avoid any disruption during the season. In truth, Tsimikas has been a reliable servant since arriving for £12 million in 2020, offering cover for Robertson and occasionally stepping up in cup competitions. But he never truly threatened to dislodge the Scot, and with Slot keen to work with a streamlined squad where every player has a clear role, the decision to move him on feels like part of the wider ruthlessness that has characterized this window, a window that has already seen 9 players arrive, Alisson Becker, speaking after the victory, admitted that while much of the discussion around Liverpool this summer has focused on the quality of the new recruits, less has been said about the scale of the challenge in integrating so many new faces into the squad, the Brazilian goalkeeper describing it as a process that requires patience, understanding, and adaptability from both old and new players, especially in a league as intense and physical as the Premier League. But he was quick to stress that he has complete trust in Slot's methods and in the professionalism of his teammates, noting that although last season's challenge was to adapt to a new manager, at least the squad remained largely the same, whereas this summer has brought both a managerial transition and a wave of new arrivals, doubling the complexity of adaptation. Yet the performance against Bournemouth suggested that Liverpool are already embracing that challenge, with Wirtz showing flashes of his creativity, Ekitike providing a physical presence up front, and Frimpong bringing pace and dynamism down the flank. Contributions that, combined with the stability offered by established stars such as Van Dijk, Robertson, Mohamed Salah, and Trent Alexander-Arnold, ensured that Liverpool began their title defence with a statement victory. Slot, though, has been keen to temper expectations, warning that the road ahead will not be smooth, and that every fixture must be approached with the intensity of a final A mindset that was evident in the way Liverpool forced their way to victory against Bournemouth, even when the rhythm of the game faltered. A resilience that the Dutch coach insists will be vital in a season where rivals are desperate to topple the champions and where the demands of domestic and European competition will test every squad member. Meanwhile, Hughes continues to operate with the kind of efficiency that has drawn comparisons with some of Liverpool's most successful transfer windows of the past. His ability to balance significant spending with lucrative sales, ensuring that the club's self-sustaining financial model remains intact. The handling of Doak's sale and Simika's situation, emblematic of a pragmatic approach designed to keep the squad competitive without compromising long-term stability. And as the clock ticks towards deadline day, attention is focused on whether JP can be secured, whether further midfield reinforcements might be explored if opportunities arise, and how quickly Leone adapts to the rigours of English football. His early days at Kirkby already being watched with interest by staff, eager to see how his composure and technical ability translate into the Premier League environment. The broader picture is one of turbulence and ambition.